What if true strength isn't about holding on, but learning to let go? We spend so much of our lives clinging to expectations, relationships, past mistakes. And yet, the more we hold on, the more we suffer. But what if there was another way? A way to free yourself from the weight of what no longer serves you. Think about a time when you struggled to move on. Maybe it was a missed opportunity, a painful breakup, or a future that didn't turn out as you had hoped. That tight grip on what should have been only deepens the pain. Now imagine what life would feel like if you could let go, not out of weakness, but with wisdom. We often try to control the uncontrollable, seeking certainty in an uncertain world. This attachment leads to stress, frustration, and suffering. But the truth is, the more we fight reality, the more we lose ourselves in it. The Stoic philosophers understood this deeply. They taught that detachment isn't about giving up. It's about gaining control over yourself. It's about mastering your emotions, finding peace in the present, and moving forward with clarity and strength. Today, you'll discover 5 Stoic principles that will help you embrace Stoic detachment, so you can build emotional resilience. Stop being weighed down by the past and truly start moving forward. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, practical framework to free yourself from emotional burdens, let go of stress and expectations, develop a mindset that allows you to face life with confidence and inner peace. Stay until the end, because in the final lesson, you'll uncover the most powerful Stoic practice that will shift the way you see challenges forever. If this resonates with you, don't forget to like and subscribe to Stoic Teachings today for more wisdom on how to navigate life with strength and clarity. And let me know in the comments, what's something you're ready to let go of today? Now, let's begin. Number 1. Understand what you can and cannot control. You cannot control everything in life, but you can control how you respond to it. This simple truth is at the heart of Stoic wisdom. Yet, most of our suffering comes from resisting it. We struggle because we try to hold on to what we cannot change: other people's actions, past mistakes, the unpredictable nature of life itself. But real power, real freedom, begins the moment you let go of what's outside your control and focus entirely on what is within your grasp. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, put it simply: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Strength isn't about forcing the world to bend to your will. It's about mastering your own mind, emotions, and actions, regardless of what happens around you. Think about how much stress comes from trying to control things beyond your reach. The job you didn't get, the relationship that didn't last, the unexpected problems that keep showing up. Every time you resist reality, you create suffering. But the moment you shift your focus from control to acceptance, you start to reclaim your peace. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, running late for an important meeting. You feel frustration rising, tension building. You grip the steering wheel tighter. You start thinking of all the ways this delay could ruin your day. But ask yourself, can you control the traffic? No. What you can control is your reaction. You can choose to get angry, or you can take a deep breath, accept the situation, and use the time to listen to an audiobook. Reflect on your thoughts, or simply be present. The situation hasn't changed, but your response has. This shift isn't just about avoiding stress. It's about building emotional resilience. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you become calmer, more focused, more at peace with the flow of life. Now think about relationships. How often do we try to control how others think or act? Maybe you've tried to make someone see your point of view, or hoped they would change to meet your expectations. But people are not ours to control, and when we stop trying, we experience a new kind of freedom, the freedom to accept others as they are and to focus on how we show up in the world. Seneca, another great Stoic thinker, warned against wasting energy on things outside our influence. He said, "The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. You are arranging what is in fortune's control and abandoning what lies in yours." We often live in a state of tension, waiting for circumstances to align, waiting for people to act a certain way, waiting for life to go as planned. But in doing so, we lose sight of the only thing we ever truly own: our own actions, our own thoughts, our own responses. Think about a moment in your life when you felt powerless. Maybe it was a major setback, a career failure, a personal loss, an unexpected challenge. You felt overwhelmed, frustrated, maybe even hopeless. But what if, instead of focusing on what went wrong, you had focused on what you could do? This is where Stoic detachment becomes a superpower. It doesn't mean indifference, it means clarity, the ability to step back and say, "This is beyond my control, but my response is mine to own." This is how you reclaim power, not by changing the world around you, but by changing yourself. One powerful practice you can start today is called the two lists exercise. Each morning, take a piece of paper and divide it into two columns. On one side, write down everything that's within your control: your thoughts, your actions, your effort. On the other, write everything that isn't: other people's opinions, external outcomes, unpredictable events. Then, make a commitment. I will not waste my energy on things I cannot change. I will pour my effort into what I can control. Over time, this mindset shift will free you. You will no longer feel like a victim of circumstances. You will stop reacting emotionally to things that don't deserve your attention. You will move through life with a sense of calm, strength, and purpose. Because real strength isn't found in controlling the outside world. It's found in mastering the inner one, and that is where true freedom begins. Number 2, accept impermanence and change. Everything in life is temporary. No moment lasts forever, no feeling remains unchanged, and no situation is permanent. Yet, we resist this truth. We cling to things, relationships, identities, achievements, as if they are meant to last forever. But deep down, we know they won't. We mourn the past, we fear the future, and in doing so, we lose the only thing we ever truly have, the present moment. The Stoics understood this deeply. Instead of resisting change, they embraced it. They saw impermanence not as a tragedy, but as the natural order of life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Observe how all things are constantly changing and being transformed." If you understand this fully, you will stop being overly attached to anything. This is not a call to indifference. It is a call to wisdom. The wisdom to appreciate what we have while it lasts, and the strength to let it go when its time has passed. Imagine standing by a river. The water before you is never the same. It flows, shifts, and changes course. You do not try to hold on to a particular wave. You simply watch it pass. Life is no different. Every moment, every experience, every relationship is like that wave. If we try to grasp it, we only bring ourselves pain. But if we learn to observe, to appreciate, and to release, we find peace. Think about how much suffering comes from refusing to accept the impermanence of things. The person who fears change lives in a constant state of anxiety, trying to hold on to what cannot be held. They become trapped, clinging to a past that no longer exists, dreading a future that has yet to arrive. A person who embraces impermanence, however, finds freedom. They don't mourn what has ended. They cherish what was. They don't fear what's ahead. They trust in their ability to adapt. They flow with life rather than fighting against it. Consider the story of a man who lost his job. At first, he saw it as a disaster. He felt like a failure. He spent weeks lamenting the loss, reliving the past, and fearing the future. But then, something shifted. He realized that his suffering didn't come from the loss itself, but from his resistance to it. When he finally accepted the change, he discovered new opportunities. He adapted, he rebuilt. And in time, he saw that what once felt like an ending was actually a new beginning. This is the power of Stoic detachment. It does not mean apathy. It does not mean giving up. It means seeing things as they are, temporary, fleeting, ever-changing, and choosing to move forward with grace. Seneca put it simply, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." The end of a relationship, the loss of a job, the passing of time. These are not tragedies. They are transitions. And when you learn to see them this way, your suffering lessens, your fear dissolves, and your ability to navigate life with clarity and confidence grows stronger. So how can you start practicing this today? The next time you feel frustration, ask yourself, am I holding on to something that is already gone? Am I resisting something that is already changing? If so, take a deep breath and let it go. Try this simple exercise. Close your eyes and picture something you've been holding on to, a regret, a fear, an expectation. Now imagine it as a leaf floating down a river. Watch it drift further and further away. Feel the lightness that comes with releasing it, because the truth is, life is change, and the sooner you embrace it, the freer you become. Number 3, reframe loss as a lesson. Loss is inevitable. At some point, we all face it. The end of a relationship, the failure of a dream, the passing of time that takes people and opportunities away. When loss happens, the pain feels overwhelming. We ask, why me? Or, what did I do to deserve this? But the truth is, loss is not a punishment. It is a lesson, and how we respond to it defines the kind of life we live. The Stoics believe that every event in life, good or bad, carries value if we are willing to learn from it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." The problem is not the loss itself, but our perception of it. We see it as something negative, something unfair. But in reality, it is simply transformation. One phase of life ending, so another can begin. Think about a time when you faced a major setback. Maybe you lost a job, experienced heartbreak, or watched a dream slip away. In that moment, it felt like the end. But now, looking back, you can see how it shaped you. Maybe it led you to a better opportunity. Maybe it made you stronger. Maybe it forced you to grow in ways you never expected. What seemed like a disaster was actually a turning point. Seneca reminds us, a good character is not formed in ease and quiet. It is formed in the stormy billows of the world. Loss, pain, and failure are the forces that shape us. They break us down, only to rebuild us stronger. Consider a sculptor working on a block of marble. Every strike of the chisel removes something, but with each removal, the true form of the statue is revealed. The same is true for us. Life will take things away, but in doing so, it carves away the unnecessary, revealing the person we are meant to become. So how do we reframe loss? First, we must let go of resistance. The more we fight reality, the more we suffer. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What can this teach me?" Shift your mindset from victimhood to growth. Every challenge, every loss, every failure carries a lesson if you are willing to see it. Second, practice gratitude. Not just for what you have, but for what you have lost. This may seem strange at first, but when you appreciate the impermanence of things, you begin to value them more. You stop taking moments for granted. You learn to love deeply, to experience fully, to live with awareness, because you know nothing lasts forever. Imagine two people experiencing the same loss. One resists it, drowning in self-pity. The other accepts it, reflecting on what they have learned and how they can move forward. Which one do you think will find peace? Which one will grow? The difference is not in the event itself, but in how it is framed. This is Stoic detachment, the ability to let go, not with cold indifference, but with wisdom. It is understanding that loss is not the end of the story. It is just another chapter. So how can you apply this today? Think of something you have lost. Now, instead of mourning it, ask yourself, what did this experience teach me? How has it shaped me? What door has it opened? Write it down. Reflect on it. And the next time you face loss, remind yourself, this is not an end. This is a lesson. Because in the end, nothing is truly lost. Everything simply transforms. And if you can embrace that, you will never be afraid of change again. Number 4. Detach from desires and expectations. We suffer not because of reality, but because of our expectations. We expect life to go according to plan. We expect others to act a certain way. We expect success, recognition, comfort. And when reality doesn't match our expectations, we feel frustrated, disappointed, even betrayed. But what if the key to peace isn't in getting what we want, but in letting go of our attachment to desires and expectations? The Stoics believed that external outcomes are never within our full control. What is within our control is how we respond to life as it unfolds. Epictetus said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them." In other words, it's not the missed promotion, the broken relationship, or the unexpected challenge that causes suffering. It's the expectation that these things should have gone differently. Imagine two people applying for the same job. Both are equally qualified. Both prepare thoroughly. But in the end, only one gets the position. The first person is devastated. They dwell on the rejection, convinced they were wronged. The second person, however, accepts the outcome and moves forward. They remind themselves that they did their best and that another opportunity will come. The difference between these two people is not luck or talent. It is perspective. One clings to an expectation, while the other practices Stoic detachment. Detaching from desires doesn't mean you stop striving. It doesn't mean you become passive or indifferent. It means you stop depending on external results for your happiness. It means shifting your focus from getting to doing, from controlling outcomes to mastering effort. Seneca put it simply. He who is controlled by his desires is not free. The more we attach our happiness to things outside our control, money, status, approval, the more we hand over our peace of mind to forces beyond us. But the moment we detach, the moment we let go of needing things to be a certain way, we regain our freedom. Think about relationships. How often do we suffer because someone didn't act the way we wanted? A friend doesn't text back. A partner doesn't meet an expectation. A colleague doesn't give us the recognition we think we deserve. We assume that if only people behaved differently, we would be happy. But we cannot control others. What we can control is how we interpret their actions, how we set boundaries, and how we choose to respond. Detachment from desires also means letting go of when things happen. We often tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I get that promotion, when I find the perfect relationship, when I have more money. But happiness is not a finish line. If you are always chasing something, you will never feel content. The Stoics teach us that fulfillment isn't something we reach later. It's something we cultivate now. So how do we practice this in daily life? Start by questioning your expectations. When you feel frustrated, ask yourself, what am I expecting right now? Is this expectation serving me, or is it causing unnecessary suffering? Then, remind yourself of what is within your control, your effort, your attitude, your response. Another powerful exercise is the practice of negative visualization. Each morning, take a moment to imagine a plan not going as expected, not in a pessimistic way, but as a reminder that external events are unpredictable. If you can mentally prepare for different outcomes, you will remain steady regardless of what happens. When you detach from desires and expectations, you gain emotional resilience. You stop reacting impulsively. You stop feeling personally attacked by life's unpredictability. You move forward with clarity, focusing on what truly matters, your own actions, values, and mindset. This is the essence of Stoic detachment, not indifference, not inaction, but freedom. The freedom to live fully in the present, unburdened by expectations of how things should be. So take a deep breath and let go, because when you release the need to control everything, you finally start to live. Number 5. Live in the present moment. We spend so much of our lives lost in two places, the past and the future. We replay old conversations, relive past mistakes, and dwell on things we can no longer change. Or we project into the future, worrying about what might happen, obsessing over outcomes, and waiting for the next big moment to bring us happiness. But in doing so, we miss the only moment that truly exists, the present. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that true peace is found not in what was or what will be, but in what is. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present," a simple instruction, yet one of the hardest things to do. Why? Because our minds are constantly pulling us away, convincing us that happiness exists somewhere other than now. Think about the last time you were anxious. Chances are your thoughts were not in the present moment. They were either stuck in regret over something that had already happened, or in fear of something that might happen. But ask yourself, did worrying change anything? Did replaying the past fix anything? Or did it only steal the peace of now? Imagine a person walking up a mountain. If they constantly look back, dwelling on how far they've come, or look too far ahead, worrying about how much is left, they will stumble. But if they focus on this step, and then the next, they will reach the top without unnecessary suffering. Life is the same. When we live in the past or the future, we stumble. But when we live in now, we move forward with clarity. Seneca reminds us, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. The moment you stop waiting to be happy, you become happy, not because life is perfect, but because you are finally here, fully engaged, fully alive. But how do we bring this into practice? First, recognize when your mind is wandering. The next time you feel stressed, ask yourself, where am I? Am I here in this moment, or am I lost in thoughts of the past or future? Then, bring yourself back. Take a deep breath. Feel the ground beneath you. Notice your surroundings. Engage fully with what you are doing, whether it's eating, walking, or talking to a friend. Second, practice gratitude, not for what was or what might be, but for what is. Instead of thinking, I'll be happy when, shift your focus to, I am grateful for. The more you do this, the more you train your mind to see the richness of the present. Finally, embrace Stoic detachment. Understand that you cannot change the past and you cannot predict the future. What you can control is how you show up now. The present moment is where your power lies. It is the only place where action happens, where choices are made, where life is truly lived. So take a deep breath and return to this moment, because now is all you ever really have. Everything we've explored in this video leads to one simple truth. Peace comes not from controlling the world, but from mastering ourselves. We've seen how Stoic detachment frees us, how recognizing what we can and cannot control, embracing impermanence, reframing loss, letting go of expectations, and living in the present moment allows us to move forward with clarity and strength. These are not just abstract ideas. They are practical tools that can reshape how you experience life. Think about it. When you stop clinging to what's beyond your reach, your mind becomes lighter. When you accept that nothing is permanent, you stop fearing change. When you see loss as a lesson, you grow. When you release unrealistic expectations, you find freedom. And when you focus on the present, you truly start living. The Stoics understood that the only thing we ever own is our own mind. Everything else, people, possessions, circumstances, is temporary. But how we respond to life is always in our control. As Epictetus said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. So the question is, what will you choose to let go of today? What burden will you release? Here's a challenge for you. Take one lesson from this video and apply it right now. Maybe it's accepting something you cannot change. Maybe it's letting go of an expectation that's weighing you down. Maybe it's simply pausing and returning to the present moment. Remember, true strength is not found in holding on. It's found in knowing when to let go. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe to Stoic Teachings today. Share your thoughts in the comments. What part of Stoic detachment resonates most with you? And if you know someone who could benefit from this wisdom, share this video with them, because wisdom grows when it is shared, and together we can build a life of clarity, resilience, and inner peace.